The coast of Australia nearly a decade ago may actually be an alien spacecraft.
Wow.
My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
The quest for intelligent life is likely to reach a fever pitch. The 100 billion galaxies in the cosmos are home to an astounding number of planets, so many that our human minds can't truly grasp it. And with these galaxies, there's great speculation of other living beings, extraterrestrial beings. Ancient Egyptians reported seeing unidentified flying objects for the first time. What history and archaeology has taught is the never-ending discoveries that challenge everything we know. We've assumed in our minds that technological advancement and intense discoveries have linear progression, more knowledge with more time. However, what we can come to find out is that civilizations older than our known existence might have had more answers than we do today. Writings from the time of the 6th pharaoh, Thutmose III, mention fiery disks in the skies above Lower Egypt. In order to find signs of life on them, scientists have created new techniques. And there may be a lot of them, since every star you see in the night sky has a planet around it, if not a family of planets. And this idea is just beginning to take hold, because there are potentially at least 100 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy, and an estimated 100 billion galaxies in the cosmos. They're probable candidates of life as well for civilizations that possess technology. The sheer number needed to count each one may be too enormous to grasp. Perhaps more important, our tools are becoming better, and everyone knew that fact from the first photographs the freshly launched James Webb Space Telescope obtained. In July, NASA released the first images taken with its new Webb telescope, which show previously inaccessible regions of the universe in stunning clarity and beauty. One picture depicted a panoramic view of cosmic cliffs, composed of gas and dust and measuring 24 trillion miles in height. You heard that right, 24 trillion miles. However, countless more powerful ground and space-based sensors are presently under development that will allow us to see extremely distant objects for the first time or analyze previously identified objects in entirely new ways. With things like JWST and some of the other telescopes, we're beginning to be able to study atmospheres looking for much smaller signals. In the past, it was just impossible. On October 18, 1989, Galileo was aboard the space shuttle Atlantis when it lifted out from Kennedy Space Center with a cargo load. Galileo was designed to go to Jupiter, where it would spend years in orbit collecting data and images for scientists. As soon as Galileo was detached from the shuttle, it changed direction and headed back towards the sun, circling Venus in order to use the planet as a slingshot to pick up speed for the journey to the outer solar system. It also completed 2 Earth orbits, traveling 597 and 188 miles each. Engineers were able to test the ship's sensors to ensure their reliability. Carl Sagan, a Galileo's research team member, claimed that this was the first flyby in Earth's history. It also provided a clear picture for his speculations on what a spacecraft looking for signs of intelligent life on a faraway planet may find. The current state of atmospheric gases is shown by rising carbon dioxide and methane levels and clouds of floating industrial pollutants. From time to time, radioactive material manages to become loose. Meanwhile, the billions of gadgets and antennae in use today emit a buzzing, worldwide swarm of electromagnetic transmissions. Is it safe to presume that people on other planets will live in cultures analogous to ours? How well could they replicate Galileo's chemistry and electromagnetics? Technosignatures is the term coined by industry professionals to describe them. The search for life beyond Earth is often summarized by the assumption that aliens also developed radio technology capable to that of Earthlings. In the late 1950s, academic publications were published that speculated aliens could be interested in communicating with humans. This is a major factor in the common hope that aliens will come to Earth to redeem mankind and teach us important lessons. Frank observes that the search for extraterrestrial communications has become increasingly agnostic over time. These days, instead of looking for direct communications to Earth, telescopes scour the sky examining billions of frequencies simultaneously, in search of electronic signals whose origins cannot be explained by celestial occurrences. Even more so, a novel strategy has been used to search for intelligent life. In 2018, Frank attended a symposium in Houston devoted to the subject of technosignatures. The 60 scientists present were asked to think about opening a new field of study that would use NASA's resources to search for signs of technology such as air pollution on other planets. When Frank thinks back to that meeting in Houston, he thinks of the beginning of a new era. NASA has never before intervened in space activities. Thus, this was met with universal shock. His colleagues in astronomy across the country banded together to form categorizing atmospheric technosignatures, and NASA has since donated nearly $1 million to supporting its efforts. The end purpose of CATS is to create a library of possible technology signatures. Put simply, Frank and his team are investigating what clues there might be to the existence of advanced civilizations on planets other than Earth. Frank stressed that, at this time, his team's work is not meant to help in the study of radio broadcasts from other planets or to establish contact with aliens. Rather, they are wondering what we can glean from studying the atmospheres of distant planets. Scientists aren't making any assumptions about whether someone wants to communicate or doesn't want to communicate. Society will simply keep doing whatever it's doing. There was a time when studying this idea may offer little results. Nevertheless, recent advancements have enabled it to search for technological indicators actively. The first is the discovery of planets orbiting faraway stars, made possible by cutting-edge telescopes and scientific tools. As of this August, 5,084 such exoplanets have been confirmed by NASA. This figure often rises by several hundred each year. The point is, after 2,500 years of humans arguing about whether there is life in the universe, in the next 10, 20, and 30 years, we will truly have facts. The photos were both stunning and puzzling, bringing new questions that will provide answers much later on. Webb is the most advanced and far-reaching telescope ever created, since it has captured light from faraway stars that took over 13 billion years to come to Earth. As a scientist, it takes work to constantly take in and make sense of fresh information. The Webb telescope can not only peer into the past, but also explore the present. Webb's infrared detectors allow it to see deep into Jupiter's and Mars's atmosphere, two of solar system's closest planets. Some of the nearest Earth-sized exoplanets, such as those orbiting the small TRAPPIST-1 star, are only 40 light-years away, making these capabilities accessible. Researchers are keeping a careful eye on these planets to discover a biosignature or signs of life. A biosignature on Earth may take the form of anything from a discarded clamshell to a feather from a bird's wing to a fern petrified in sedimentary rock. Life on an exoplanet might be indicated by oxygen, methane, water, or carbon dioxide. The team searching for aliens would need to thoroughly analyze the planet's atmosphere and possible habitability before proclaiming the finding of a biosignature. In the search for aliens, there is a detail that few people know. Countless scientific teams have to see James Webb's observations. For instance, a group of scientists wants to understand one of the 7 planets that orbit the TRAPPIST-1 star, but they don't get to use the James Webb telescope every time they want. Lewis and her colleagues have been granted 22.5 hours of Webb observation time this year. So to find something meaningful, it would take at least 3 years of monitoring to spot a biosignature in any given system. NASA and the academic community have supported biosignature research for decades. On the other hand, the term technosignature was coined in 2007 by Jill Tarter, a pioneer in the field of astronomy who has devoted her whole career to the search for alien communications. And those aliens could be closer than we think. A faint star only 12 light-years away has 2 Earth-sized planets in orbit around it right now. These planets could support life, and it's possible that human beings could colonize them. And it's also possible the other way around. Alien civilizations may be able to locate Earth if they discover life here. But before that happens, in 29 years, the nearby star will be in the right position. With stars always on the move, the turn for Tegarden's star will eventually come. And in 30 years, aliens will be able to observe our solar system and detect the momentary dimming caused by Earth's passage in front of the sun. Of course, as long as there is a they, and if they have the same technology as us, then they don't know we exist yet. In just 29 years, they'll have the same means to monitor our every move. To determine which star systems have seen Earth in the past, present, and future, NASA has assembled a team of experts from various fields to look into UFOs. Interest in the UFOs have been piqued for over a decade since the United States government began referring to them as unidentified aerial phenomena. The United States Space Agency has assembled a formal panel to look into these sightings and other data collected by civilian governments and commercial sectors. It has 16 members, one of whom is a retired NASA astronaut. U.S. defense and intelligence officials have previously analyzed UFO sightings by military pilots, but this new investigation will go in a different direction. Military observers have reported more than 140 credible sightings since 2004, but a report from the Pentagon last year concluded that there was not enough information to determine the nature of these sightings. Of 1,356 astronomers, 62 reported sightings of strange aerial phenomena without obvious explanation. For every 2,611 surveys sent to the Stanford University professor who teaches space science and astrophysics, 1,356 were filled out. Only 4.6% of respondents reported having direct experience with UFO sightings or recordings. Atomic power plants and military bases have been the reported locations of numerous alien sightings. The mid-1940s, at the height of the atomic gap, saw the first reports of UFO sightings near nuclear power plants. Veterans of over 160 different military units have reported strange UFO sightings in the area of nuclear power plants. When do you think we will find conclusive evidence that aliens exist? Tell us in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to get more like it.